I want to talk. I want to give off a few more words about this whole subject, but also just talk about some other things that I'm currently working on. And yeah, I'm very just like in a loss of words right now. I was gonna go play Kingdom Hearts after I was done eating, and I find out Marvel is being sued by copyright characters, and I'm like, the moment I see Iron Man uh, and Avengers and Spider Man, and I'm just literally thinking, oh dear God, no, don't tell me it's what I think it is. Oh yeah, and I'm like, oh shit. That means DC's gonna have one. That means all this crap. And yet again, granted, at the same time, they could easily just make a court case settlement, or they say, okay, we need to do another Iron Man film, we need to do another Avengers film for copyright law. And that is something that I'm a little bit nervous because that means every couple of decades they're going to force to make something to make it where we keep the license over. If it's dog shit, we'll keep it. Kind of reminds me of the whole thing with Fox on what they did to Fantastic Four. Kind of reminds me of what's happening to Spider-Man, where a couple of years they keep the license and Sony keeps on using those characters in the movies. Now, granted, people say, "Oh, what happens if they win?" Goodbye to your comics, goodbye to your movies, and the rest is history, buddy. And who knows? And I mean, who knows if the families who um, have their father or mother created those characters and pretty much saying, "Yeah, I want a big pay raise. You give me that, I'll let you use my characters." That's another big question that you're gonna have to be like, "Oh boy, this is not looking good, buddy." Yeah, it just overall sucks, and I'm not kidding. It just sucks. This is not what I did not. I almost say this. This is not what I wanted to have. I mean, hell, when I look this shit up more and more, I'm like, oh dear God. And granted, my mom says to me like, "Don't worry, Edgar. It's not gonna go to court. It's not gonna do any of that crap." And I'm like, "How the fuck you know?" That just yeah. I mean, when I look at Friday the 13th and other franchises, I tend to worry about shit like this. And it's just gonna be like I'm always gonna think like Jesus Christ, what happens if we do like some type of bullshit move on Spider-Man, and then just because we have to keep the license? Oh boy, that's real fun, guys. That's real fun. Good job on us. Good job. Uh, it's a lose lose situation. Um, but we'll have to wait and see how things go. We got a year for this to kind of push over, but I'm just gonna be real, and I'm saying this: if we lose and we lose hard, then we're screwed. We are screwed. There is no way in hell that I personally believe the family of Stanley and Steve Ditko and Jack Kirby is going to be asking, like, yeah, give me a pay raise. They're going to be saying, F all of you, take my fucking kids, and you don't deserve them. My father did this for your company, and you ruined my father's legacy, so therefore I'm going to give it to someone else that is going to treat my father's characters right. Sounds like something I have the worst case scenario to sum it up. And if that happens, I'm like, oh boy, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna fucking lose it. Because that's the end of Marvel. And it's just like it's the worst thing you want to have. We got a year for this thing to go, and dude, the updates are gonna be like cringe. I'm like, oh boy, are we gonna win? Are we gonna win? Are we gonna win? No, I don't think we are. I think we're fucking screwed. But yet again, I want to pretend we're not. Um, I just I really don't know what to say. And like I said before, enjoy your comics, enjoy your books, because that's probably going to be the last of it. And I just, I'm just very not too happy. And I don't know what to say. I'm in a bit of like, granted, I'm not going to be surprised if we're going to do something so crazy to such a degree uh, that we're going to have to do something big in the books. Um, Tevya, you better enjoy your Spider-Man comics because you might just lose them. But I mean, it is what it is, guys. I mean, it's just I'm very just depressed on the news. I'm very much like, wow. Turns out my enjoyment is going to be gone in a year, a fucking year. And I guarantee you, all those fucking moron, piece of shit, low life assholes that are going to be just sucking the cock and absolutely just fueling that fire of, oh, Marvel shouldn't have their characters, this and that, this and that. I'm like, oh my god, here we go, and it's going to be a fucking shit show. And DC is probably going to have a similar direction, guaranteed. And more likely, they're going to have to reboot their continuity because that was the fucking only reasons why they kept the license of Superman, and that was the sole reason why the New 52 was existed. Granted, maybe they'll do something like that in the comics of Marvel as well. So I don't know. I mean, granted, I wouldn't mind a hardcore reboot of Marvel. I think we stretch our universe so much so that we need to just a revamped of their universe to such a degree that we need to go back to basic. We need to go back to how where Peter is a teenager again. This is a new carnation of Peter Parker. This is a new carnation of the Hulk. And you go forward and you make things canon. You make things going forward. I mean, personally, for me, I wouldn't mind a Donald Blake scenario in Thor's comics again, the right way of doing things, not having him turn into a fucking villain. Hey, 616, what's going on, man? But it's just like, it is what it is. Anyway, I don't know about anyone, but I don't know if anyone's just happy or sad. I'll just say this right now. I mean, like, I was working on a comic and I was going to do my way up to Marvel. Like that was the dream goal. Like that was the, yeah, that exactly. More likely that's probably going to be it. Or just do MCU comics. That's just it. But go on to my point on what I was saying. I was doing a script, and I'm gonna do issue 2 whenever I have the time or whenever I feel like it. I know what issue 2 is gonna be like. I just haven't written it down. And I'll tell you my whole story. The story is about a kid who finds out the story is about where you have a kid finds out that he's the chosen one or the son of God, if you want to call it, and he is destined to uh, rule the multiverse, and his daughter will be the defender of time. And that was my whole idea. That was my whole script idea. And issue 2 pretty much leads into more further into that hole. But I mean, it's just, it's a cool concept, but I mean, I really would like to work with Marvel. I really want to work with Marvel. Um, because that's one of the things that's just like, you know, I really want to go up there. And that is something that I truly want to do. But the problem is, if all the characters that I really like go bye bye, it's like, what was the whole point of doing all that shit? What was the whole point of getting into the comic industry and trying to do your story and then work your way up to a certain amount of years and you get the job that you always wanted? I mean, that's why I see a lot of the writers do a lot of times. And to realize that your favorite character is not going to be there, well, what's the point? What is the point of being a comic writer? I mean, it's going to get to that point where comics are going to be like, are going to be either advertising movies and TV shows and games and shit like that, than just do your own stories. Like, for example, Transformers, Power Rangers, fucking Star Wars, and Alien and Predator. And also Terminator. We got to throw in that in there. Shit like that is going to be the new common thing for Marvel and DC. What I mean is, you're probably going to have comic books of Batman talking about all the movies of Batman. You're going to have the Marvel universe be more likely the MCU, and they're going to go forward with that whole direction. And many people say, I don't think it's a good idea having the MCU be a full mainstream universe. Well, I'm sorry. They could take what's out there in the books that they've done and do some interesting directions going forward. Let's say that, and that's just if they win. That's just if they win and they pretty much go forward with this whole direction. That's just what I'm predicting. I'm predicting where Marvel's just going to say, okay, time to end all the books, hardcore reboot this time, and just go all out. Same goes to DC. Hell, we're having Crisis next year because they're going to revamp everything and redo everything and just go forward from there. I won't be surprised Crisis is going to be your way of doing of a reboot for DC. I mean, it is what it is. And, you know, the comic book industry or the entertainment industry is changing, but it's just, you're scared for the future. You're scared for the future that your favorite things that you enjoy may not be there anymore. And that's what I'm having. You know, I'm enjoying the Thor run. I'm enjoying the Iron Man run. It's consistently being good, 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 good. That's what I like. Just being good. Just stay good. Stay consistent. Don't care what anyone else says. Just be good. Just have that shit keep on going. And the rest is history. But I feel like, you know, that shit's going to be taken away because of some bullshit. I don't know what else I could say. I mean, just, yeah. Anyway. Oh, yeah, I agree. If you want to come in 616 and talk about it with me, go ahead. I mean, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this shit. I mean, like, and that means also everyone as well. If you guys want to come down, there's the link down below, and yeah. You know, definitely, I totally agree. It's going to be a very interesting time to be a fan of Marvel and DC and everything between on that shit. And it's just like, and I could guarantee you, those haters who hate Disney so goddamn much, they'll do everything they can to just say, okay, we are going to do we're going to support the creators because we don't want Disney to have the rights of those characters. And it's like, oh, thank you. real nice. I mean, I don't really care. And people say, oh, once you create something, you don't have copyright royalties. And I'm like, yeah, sure. You don't have that in the big companies like Marvel or DC and shit like that. I can understand that. But yeah, at the same time, do I want to have my shit back? Yeah, at one hand, it's good. But at the other hand, it's like, what the fuck I'm gonna do with this shit? I'm gonna give it to my grandkids? What the fuck? And I'm like, granted, people want that. People like to have that, and that's just you're going in so there's so many things. I'm like, oh my god, holy shit! I mean, this is just a shit show, and just like, oh man, this is unbelievable, holy cow! And I never thought this would be a case in Marvel. I never think like, no way. 20 years by now, you're not going to have this problem. You're not going to have fucking Iron Man having no comics anymore. You're not going to have any of that shit going down. You're not going to have any of that stuff. You're going to be great. You're going to enjoy greatness. You're going to have some great movies, great comics. Fuck me. You ain't going to have none of that crap in the next 20 years, man. You're going to be like fucking SOL, shit out of luck, and you're just going to enjoy what you have, and that's it, buddy. That's really it. And God forbid Stanley's daughter is going to milk every goddamn dime out of this shit because she's one of the reasons why Stanley's passed away. And it's just, oh my God. And the stories where Stanley's daughter had fights of Stanley's wife and himself, and I'm like, oh dear God, I hope she doesn't become a problem later on. And it really just it makes me scared for the future, because if we're having this problem with creator copyright, therefore all this shit's gonna go down. And I'm like, Jesus, this is not looking good. I'm looking at all possibilities, and I'm just thinking, in the comic situation, what do we do? Well, there's only two things: either drastically go do something crazy that may piss off fans, or just say, fuck it, reboot it all. That's the thing. That's the thing we're going to have to choose. Either drastic changes or reboot it all. Reboot it all. Start from scratch. Do something to where no other company, and DC's going to have to do the same and all that crap. Oh, here's Debbie. Sorry, didn't see you.
Oh, the irony. Yeah, here's the thing. I call bullshit. Did not be in a moment.
Oh, I can barely hear you. I can barely hear you. Oh, I give my headset on.
Shit. All right.
I'm here now. Go.
Yeah, like here's the thing. I call bullshit. Didn't have to end on Marvel. No. Here's the thing. I did some research on this stuff, and yet we go on it's a complete mess. But here's the thing. I think in general, the best option of all the matter is that the creator will probably get paid. Hopefully, they get the compensation.
Yeah, but I don't agree. Tavia, because look at Stephen King and the people who in the Friday the 13th. They wanted every control that they can get, and imagine what the comic book writers are going to go down and be a little bit selfish bastards, because a lot of them are feeling a little bit salty that their work is being used and they didn't get the credit. This is one of the reasons why Tom McFarlane left. This is one of the reasons why Rob
Liefeld left.
And all this shit. So you telling me all of this shit's gonna be like, oh, we're gonna be all good. We're gonna be all good. No problem. Fuck that. No. Disney is gonna have tooth to nail on this thing. And if Disney fails, no one's gonna be happy. I'm gonna be pissed at Disney, because I'm like, I let you guys to be in charge of my favorite entertainment stuff. Now you allow these piece of shit asshole bums who clearly just are selfish assholes, because all they cared about is their own little bullshit cash-in crap, because that's where they give a shit. They had no heart and soul on this crap. Now, granted, when you sell your work to a big company and all that stuff, yeah, at one hand, you're going to ask for that credit, ask for
Yeah.
that stuff, and going forward. But at the other hand, people like me who would rather have them take my character and do whatever the fuck you want with him, and
With no consequence whatsoever.
yeah, with no consequences, just like do what you want, because at least in my name and my legacy is set because I know that I created that character. There's a reason why Kamala Khan is created. There's a reason why Iron Man was created, and all these
Same my
characters.
boss.
Yeah, Miles Morales and
You've been
stuff like
created.
that, and stuff like that, because they wanted to put a character for the company and going forward. But this just messes things up, and you gotta look at it like, oh gee, I wonder how so many people are gonna get paid. Disney is gonna be fucking bitch ass broke. Now, granted, they could throw $1 million every fucking year that character or that license of what they're using. I mean, they don't give a shit about the comics of Marvel right now. All they give a shit is like they're
paid. But here's the thing. The Joe Schuster fan, they listening to the cement at the lawsuit stuff a few years ago.
Yeah, and that's when what happened. And tell you what happened in DC Comics. They fucking
new Pikachu train wreck.
Train wreck. What the fuck you're talking about? It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, we disagree there, but we would all day.
And everybody hates Stanley's.
Stanley seemed a controversial figure, but you were the format, so man, the company really well did it Marvel. Yeah, that part actually is true. Well, he was the strong man, but yeah, he did do that. But he had help. He had the Steve Ditko, Jack Kirby, all those players.
I know that, but it's just the facts are, and this is just how my worries, and this is how I'm saying. You know, I'm looking at it in the long run, and granted, you may say, Edgar, you're overreacting. I'm like, overreacting. I think I am saying how it is. I think I'm personally saying how I truly feel, and I'm looking at all ends, and I'm like, what do we do this? What do we do that? And I'm just saying this: enjoy the comics that you have. Enjoy the books you have, because
I remember joining out. I remember becoming a god.
Yeah, exactly. The moment that case is settled, the moment that thing is all done, game over. I mean, for everyone, they're gonna be getting that shit, and Disney's gonna have to pull out their wallet and say, "How much do you want? How much?"
$1 billion.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like they're gonna be asking a mount load of money, and it's just. Oh.
They have the money to pay them off. They have the money.
I'm sure they can. I'm sure they can. My mom said to me, like, it won't go to court. I'm like, oh, sure will.
Yeah,
sure will. I'm like, I seen Stephen King get his little bullshit way, so I'm like, how the fuck you know this shit's gonna go in that direction? Oh man. Yeah. I really am very much. I'm very just upset. Very. I try to be I try to be a good team player, but I mean, like, and maybe I sound like a shield to Marvel, but it's I really am just being honest. I'm like, granted, I'm not like most comic book writers. I just want to have my work to live on through the ages. That's the stuff I like to have. Like Stan Lee didn't really care about the copyright law because he was in the business. I like to be that person. I like to have my work live through the ages. I'm just looking at it like, oh boy, we're gonna have a Tar McFarlane, a Rob Liefeld situation, and those writers.
Jim Lee situation with Jim Lee put over too. Remember, he left the company to do the Wildstorm, and then he sold the right to DC, and then it went all to hell.
Yeah, exactly. And just, but yet again, Jim Lee's always gonna. I'll say this: Jim Lee only joined Image Comics because everyone else is doing it. He never had the heart. He never had the heart and soul. He lied to those fucking people, and I'm just literally looking at him like, what was the point having you with us? Get the fuck out of here. You're best known in Marvel and DC. So, and that was the one thing he wanted to do: be be a editor chief of a big company.
What's the deal?
No. Just be editor chief of
No,
a
no,
big company.
I know. But what's the deal? Then deal with his partner. So it's all
No.
Harris.
Certainly. Well, yeah, true. Yeah, true. But anyway, jeez, this is just. How do you feel? I'm gonna ask you. How do you feel if you got your marriage? You got your marriage of Peter Parker and Mary Jane, and they had a kid together, and next year goes by, court case settles, and pretty much it goes. Everything goes bye bye.
Wait. It could be everything go back to normal. Wait, I'm confused. Wait, let me say so. Lawsuit ends, and what happened to people my daughter? I'm lost. Hello?
Okay. I'm sorry. I had to go do something. Can you repeat that again? I apologize.
Yeah, can you repeat the question because I didn't understand the question.
Oh, okay. Let's say you have your marriage and Peter Parker and Mary Jane get back together. They
And
have a
one more
kid.
day to reckon out of existence,
No,
which I think that's happening.
it's not going to get retcon out of existence. It's just going to be resolved. Where it's like Peter got it, or there's going to be an excuse. I don't think Mary. I don't think that. Okay. Let's say Let's say they retcon that stuff. How do you explain half the shit that happened both after One More Day?
Simple. It was all bullshit. All effective manipulation. Problem solved. Because no one.
No, Tevia. That causes more problems than anything, Tevia, because that creates problems with the Avengers. That creates problems with everything else. That's not good enough. But yeah, for you on Spider-Man, but everything else it causes more issues on the other Marvel universe and shit like that. And I know you don't care about that stuff, but I do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just say that. But I mean, if Mary Jane, wait, hold on, the higher up sells Marvel Comics, Spider-Man.
Number ones. Communist crap. It was funny. Communist crap. Funny to see this stuff go to copyright limbo. You're not gonna be comedy queen of any comic fans. Oh yeah, because let's face it, the whole Lemon Elsie situation. The reason why we have not got a movie on that franchise because of that lawsuit, which went through, which couldn't win.
Yeah, but I'll just be honest with you. I mean, like Tevia, I don't think One More Day is going to get retconned because I don't think it will. Yeah. I think it's just going to be.
I know.
Yeah. No, get your shit down. But I'm just saying. The whole One More Day scenario. I think it's gonna be resolved, and just absolutely just like, okay, here's your relationship back and everything between.
The marriage returned, the deal undone.
Yeah, and just come full circle, and just like have her just be continuation. The rest is history from there, and after that we go forward, and Peter has a kid, and the rest is history.
Yep,
we have that year.
I get my wish.
And granted, we have that old, and that's another thing. Was like when I look at it, like Marvel comics are gonna have to change. Marvel comics are gonna. I'm looking at like on how DC went through
with the New 52.
Yeah, with the New 52. Like, granted, you may hate it. I absolutely loved it because I accepted the like pre-52 continuity and New 52, newer comics and old comics. That was one of the things that I felt like, okay, fine, perfectly fine, but I'm not going to be a bitch and saying it was crap and it was dog shit. And I'm like, no. It had every right to stand on its two legs. And granted, some books suck. Some
Teen
books,
Titans were the Prime Down, dude. Fucking garbage. It's drove me crazy.
yeah, but yet again, I could say the same thing with the newer DC comics, and they mention the older comics just by forced fan service. Give me more reasons why I hate Rebirth, Tevia. Yeah. Okay, all right. I think you get the drift. What I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We agree, disagree on that one, but like I said, that's
no,
our
no, no,
opinions.
no, 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 no. That's a fact, buddy. You couldn't tell me I'm wrong on that one. You couldn't say I'm wrong on that one. Anyway.
Yes.
So moving on. Like, I mean,
Moving on.
I mean, personally, for me, it just makes me, you know, I look at
Scared
it.
for the future.
I'm scared for the future. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm scared for the future. Like, I really did not want this to happen. And everyone's thinking it's not going to be a major issue. I look at it as a major issue. I
Yeah.
see a major issue. And, yeah, it's just, it really is just, tell you this. Hey, tell you
Very
something.
much time we got kind of read the show, put on the stop. Did you run on did you read it? Here's the thing. I learned a lot from DG. I think DG actually worked because it addressed a lot of problems with Liberty too. And it worked.
And granted, it ruined a lot of shit because you have that force shoved in down your throat of, remember Steffi Brown and Cassie Kane as
Who appeared in
Batgirl?
Batman Eternal and Batman Long Eternal.
Tell me, you're missing the point. You know that Tim Drake evil storyline where
Yep.
that whole thing they
He was
mentioned
in the future.
that they mentioned Steffi Brown and Cassie Kane were Batgirl and Robin and all this shit, and it's like it was so shoved in down your throat, and I'm just literally, why is this here? Why is this direction is here? Give me one good reason why this is here. I mean, why? Why do we need this direction? Please tell me, movie. Please tell me, comic. Because it's stupid. It's dumb. It's pathetic. And also another thing, just go even further with it. You have a Wonder Woman. You have a Wonder Woman annual or issue. I don't know. I think it was.
I think it was the annual. It was during Wonder Woman fight the Dark Gods.
No, it was an annual that
Annual. That's what I said.
she was a Green Lantern.
Star Sapphire.
She was a Pink Lantern.
Yes, Star Sapphire.
Oh, okay, that's what it's called. Thank you. But and they mentioned all that storyline, and I'm like, they even have her get one of those rings back, and I'm like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? And how can I forget the moment where fucking Cyborg and Raven remember their history together in the older comics, and I'm like, why the fuck?
Metal.
I'm like, why the fuck are we doing this? Why do we need to mention older shit that really has no benefit of what's going on? Oh, because we like to cater to people and all that shit. Fuck that crap.
Yeah.
I'd rather see Bendis do the. Oh hell yes.
What's playing very more? Did you make better anyway? I'm out. That was drumming. Actually, wait, we got that in Ultimate. That would actually is Marvel Universe. Ultimate was Marvel Universe, such as being Open Spider-Man.
Oh, well, Tammy, I mean, like, I'm gonna ask you. I'm like, you couldn't say to me and 616 on how we see things on what we see on DC, but I mean, I'm just saying this. You better be scared. Hopefully, you don't have that problem with DC because
me.
Crap. 616. I'm gonna say this right now. Well, I wouldn't say hurts it. That's the thing. I wouldn't say okay. Soft reboots. Okay, I could get that. But if it's a hardcore reboot and it start from scratch, it's all good because therefore it tells the audience, I'm like, okay, this is a different take on those characters, and you go forward.
retcons are 50-50.
Yeah, and
More of
sometimes if it's
execution.
good or bad. I mean, like, remember the whole
Yeah.
moment where Kang the Conqueror supposedly told Iron Man to do all this bullshit on that crap?
Yep.
That was a good retcon. Now, I mean, like, some retcons need to happen. Some retcons should happen.
Some
But
retcons shouldn't happen.
yeah,
Like
a
Iron
lot
Man's
of
been
it,
adopted.
yeah, exactly. But it's like, or just absolutely just had no benefit. Because, I
Yeah.
mean, when I look at it, Tevia, I see where it's like, let's say we cater to you guys and it just hurts the product. Therefore,
Mm-hmm.
it just literally didn't solve any issue. It just only causes more problems. Gee, what did I see? That fucking smells like DC land. Yeah, that sounds good. I had to say it. I had to say it. I mean, like, just I'm like, gee, where that smells? Oh yeah, DC. I
Yeah.
mean, like, at least with Marvel. I mean, it's just so funny. It's so funny. I had to do some fucking I did a video on how I felt about DC, and then later on, they fucking literally just uh have a suing court case. And I'm like, did someone just fucking watch my video? And then after that, they just literally just say, oh, yeah, we should totally do that. We should totally do
Zero the
that.
Marvel.
Let's get rid of the Marvel universe. And I'm like, oh, you cock son of a bitches. And it's just like, oh, fucking hell. Yeah,
Yeah.
yo, man, what's up, man? What's going on, brother? What's going
I'm
on?
thinking best.
But it's just like we're talking about Marvel right now. We're about everything about comics
Yeah.
and movies
No lawsuit going on right now.
and also lawsuits. And we're talking about
Yeah.
comic writers maybe a fucking dicks to a Disney and say, yeah, I would like to have a bigger paycheck, and this is what I want. And Disney's like, okay, we'll have to give you that money, or no, we're not going to give you that. We're going to give you with this amount of money. We're only seeing you that amount of worth. Well, fuck you. You're not going to have my characters. And Disney's going to be forced saying, fine, we'll do our own. You yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of comics just
And
need
then plans start convoluted pandering to old new fans at the same time. You're not
yeah,
entirely wrong about that.
yeah, that's true. That is true about that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right about that point. But I mean, what I see is what comics really need. Hold on, give me 1 minute.
Okay. What comic needed better structure and nothing new better at the way to sell themselves out. Not sell them really what came out wrong. I mean, yeah, the comics need nothing well. Structure, telling still beginning right in, and start renumbering, and it's a whole thing. It's a mess.
Okay, I'm back now. Fuck me up.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I just, I just see some bullshit on these comic writers, and I just see a
Calm
lot.
down.
I just see a lot of stuff that's probably going to be inevitable, be big problems. Anyway, what I think what comic books really need, that's just how I feel. I'm going to say on everything on terms of comics. Comics really need is just an outline of what's their plan, what's they're going to go forward, have their universe thrive, and just go forward. Like when I look at Boom Studios on their Power Rangers, they all connect in one big universe. And I can only imagine, imagine we had that in Marvel. Imagine we had that with DC. That is something I want. That is something I crave for.
Yeah. After they have structure, they had to have a plan.
Yeah, exactly.
So Valiant had a plan.
Yeah, exactly.
Before that, you what the hell? Yeah.
Well, Valiant really, it's a bunch of Marvel copy. That universe is just copycat. I would say that universe doesn't have originality because it doesn't have any interesting characters that are actually worth a shit.
Technically, Ninja is a great character. So is a
Yeah, I mean,
Book
sure, yeah, that's
and
one good.
Exo.
Yeah, that's one good big character. It's well, technically, oh wait, well, kind of, yeah. I heard Disney owns Boom Studios, so technically, they own somewhat of Power Rangers. That's pretty fucking cool. Because I remember the Disney age of Power Rangers. That was the shit. That was the shit. I grew up so. If you don't know, I grew up with Power Rangers on the older shows like Mighty Morphin, all the way down to Power Rangers in space and Lost Galaxy and shit like that. And then after
Of
that,
course.
yeah, and all that stuff. And then I watched yours truly, Power Rangers.
Dino Charge, I think.
No, Dino Charge. Dino Thunder,
Oh,
and
that. Yeah.
and if dude, that show felt like a sequel to the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah, it did.
And just it mentioned Tommy. And granted, I would have loved them to mention more characters. And it's just, oh yeah, Wild Force was great too. Wild Force was great. That's a great,
I go
great,
Waffle. That's
great.
cool.
That was a great season. That was a really good season. Just overall, there were so many great seasons. Now, I heard.
It fits the quality.
Granted, I mean, I heard some good stuff in Ninja Steel. I heard some great stuff in
Yeah.
Dino Charge and the new
I
season.
think the latest one Dorothy brought a plot point from an older series.
Yeah, and also
if you stick to your favorite line, just go by their own continuity. Fair enough.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right about that one. You're right. I trust Bendis. I'm like, granted, I trusted Bendis on the whole Marvel. Oh yeah, you and your baby.
Yeah.
You could thank me on that on Terry.
Damn you maniac!
Well, gee, that's pretty much how I felt about Superman in your trash shit.
They destroyed it.
I enjoyed every minute of it. It was so good.
You enjoy my pain, my ranting on that train.
Oh yeah, I'm like, oh, it was so good, Tevia. It was so good just to see you fucking lose it.
Yeah.
And yeah, but anyway, but besides all that stuff, I mean, I just personally am just being real, and I just absolutely dislike what they did to Superman, and I just feel like, you know what, send Bendis down there, he'll fuck it up perfectly, and do his own bullshit, which I didn't look.
Ah, shit. That's not good.
Yeah, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, what's going on, man? What's going on?
No, nothing.
All right,
So what are we talking about?
We're talking about the court case. Well, we're talking about the bullshit in Marvel right now, and that we're having.
Yeah. Which one's your favorite writers?
What? Yep. Oh, favorite writers. My favorite writer is Tomasi, Dan Jurgens, Peter David, obviously. I love Jordan. Nick Spendazzi doing good at ASM. I know his final issue comes out later this year. I think come out this coming week.
Sandals or suits?
Oh?
Yeah, it seems like a connection was going down the shitter. My end. Go on, you were saying?
Yeah, I did answering his question, and so.
All right. Yeah, me too. I stick with Bendis as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you do it because you hate Bendis or what he did to
I
you.
don't hate him in person. He's a nice guy in real life. As a
No,
writer,
no. You
yeah.
hate you hate the fact that what he did to uh,
The Superman family.
Superman family and
Mm-hmm.
everything between on that. Thank you. And yeah.
Yeah.
And what's going on, brother? What's going on?
Oh, Michael.
I'm just
What just happened to the Watchmen rights?
uh,
Here's the thing. Alan Moore. Look, Alan Moore. I do like that. Okay, never mind.
Alan Moore is a fucking asshole. He's a
Yeah.
complete total idiot. He hates his legacy. He hates everything about the comic industry. So we're
Yeah.
like, well, fine, fuck off, old man. That's all I'm gonna say.
Anyway, he got screwed anyway, but DC and that bullshit. Which I don't blame him for being mad. He got fucked over. But here's the thing. DC wanted to give him back the lights, but he said no.
You know what?
Yeah. There's a lot more to it, that story, but I just say they
Because
want to give him back the light if he wanted to do a sequel. He didn't not
I'll
want to.
just say the reason why is he hates his legacy.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, like that's
Which
the
is
thing.
sad.
Yeah. Anyway. Oh well. I'm gonna let you guys go. I gotta go take care of dogs.
All right, see ya.